Just a heads up before we get into this one, this video contains discussions of domestic violence, emotional abuse. Some may find it unsettling. At the end of the video, we'll be offering some support if this is something that you have been affected by. Former TNA Knockouts World Champion Masha Slamovich in the news today, currently a member of the TNA roster. She is facing allegations of domestic violence, and these allegations, Fraser, come from her ex-partner, don't they?
Yeah, come from indie wrestler Akira, who competes for promotions such as CZW and Big Japan, previously competing for GCW and MLW. Now, in a series of messages posted on social media by a friend of Akira, Slamovich is accused of domestic violence during her relationship with Akira. Now, a Dropbox containing over 100 screen grabs of private text conversations on multiple platforms showcases the seemingly toxic relationship that the pair of them seem to have had. One of the many text exchanges between Akira and Slamovich seemingly addressed the domestic violence allegations sort of head on, with Akira writing, "You hit me, you're wrong," with a reply from Slamovich saying, "You cursed at me, that's why you got hit."
Now, many of these text messages showcase what very much seems to be a toxic relationship with Masha Slamovich and Akira. Akira seemingly on the receiving end of the overwhelming majority, if not 100% of it. Masha routinely, in these messages that we see, messages from what seems to be Masha Slamovich's phone, routinely threatening to leave Akira over what seems like trivial matters, such as not cleaning the kitchen, not bringing her weed when he came to collect her, amongst other things. It also contains a lot of emotional abuse, belittling Akira for his in-ring work and her embarrassment to team with him. Masha Slamovich and Akira teamed as America's violence dealers. They worked in Beyond Wrestling and GCW, among other places, between 2022 and 2023. Generally, the messages read really badly on Masha Slamovich's part, as a lot of it seems to be her threatening to leave Akira over some of the smallest of matters, and sometimes Akira replying back to that, sometimes Akira not, and then just having multiple messages and back that just seem to keep going until he replies.
It's a very tough read when you go through the Dropbox that was uploaded. There is hundreds of images of messages between the pair, and as Tom said there, it seems like quite a few of the issues would stem from normal household matters that just would then be escalated, usually in these images by Masha Slamovich. Now, the Dropbox includes private one-on-one Discord conversations between Akira and his friend, confiding in other instances where Masha allegedly verbally abused him, spat on him, and physically assaulted him. These messages, all in a Dropbox of around 100 different files, was shared on social media last night by a friend of Akira, with Akira himself confirming the legitimacy of these messages, adding that the relationship he had with Masha almost led him to taking his own life on multiple occasions.
Those conversations on Discord are pretty harrowing to read as well, and there is the one where according to these Discord conversations, Masha Slamovich allegedly had a meltdown when her car wasn't working, and when Akira was there trying to make things right, Masha spat at him and said, "Oh, I'm going to leave you. I've already broken up with you online," and it just seems to be a lot of that back and forth from these screen grabs, and that's what we're basing this from. This Dropbox, where it was widespread on social media, and as we say, it came from a very concerned friend of Akira who finally shared all this online. The way that Akira's message on socials reads is that he wasn't expecting them to go public.
Yes, it felt like he was maybe taken off guard by this going out and being so public and so public so fast. It really did spread quite quickly on social media, with Akira posting on his own social media that he felt sick at the thought of them being shared, but obviously it was a friend of his that shared this, a concerned friend of Akira's.
It was also in this message where he revealed, as Fraser's already said, that during their relationship, Akira says that he had thought about taking his own life on multiple occasions as well, due to just some of the emotional and in some cases some of the physical trauma that came from it. And as I say, these messages are not easy reading. Now this this Dropbox, this tweet has gone far and wide at this point, and there's been a lot of outpouring of love for Akira from many people he's worked with within the industry. The general consensus is that Akira is a really good guy that doesn't deserve all of what is happening right now, but as all this is coming out, there has been some backlash to this in terms of where Masha Slamovich is going next. Of course, she's part of TNA, but she's very much a key part of the independent scene as well, and a few of her long-time promotions have responded to these allegations as well.
Indeed, they have. West Coast Pro announced that they have removed Masha Slamovich from their upcoming show, How the West Has Won, where she was scheduled to face Miko Alana. Now, Masha has competed for West Coast Pro on a semi-regular basis since 2021 and is indeed a former West Coast Pro Women's Champion. Prestige Wrestling has also announced that Masha Slamovich has been removed from their upcoming show, Roseland, October 5th, where she is set to compete against Shayna Baszler. As well with West Coast Pro, Masha is being semi-regular with Prestige since 2022.
Now, it looks as if Shayna Baszler's new opponent for that show is going to be Danny Luna. Obviously, that's been confirmed online, whether that's the case now or not, but Masha Slamovich is very much off that show. Sports Illustrated also reached out to TNA Wrestling. As we say, Masha, full-time member of the TNA Knockouts division, former Knockouts World Champion, set to compete this coming Friday at Victory Road. She's going to be challenging Ash by Elegance for the Knockouts World Championship. And she does this while there is this big story that's running between TNA and WWE that we saw take place last night. And a TNA spokesman has said to Sports Illustrated, "We take any allegations like this very seriously and have begun an internal investigation." At the time recording, as I say, that match is still set to take place. Last night we had the TNA invasion.
Yes, TNA did invade NXT last night, but obviously Masha was nowhere to be seen in the TNA crowd and the TNA roster coming over to WWE. We don't know if she was meant to be there or if she was pulled from that appearance. We're not quite sure if there was anything of that sort at this current time. Obviously, as Tom had said, with the match still scheduled for Friday, we will likely see more developments considering TNA is currently actively investigating the situation.
I would have thought, and again, like, we don't know whether she was meant to be part of that or not, but I would have thought, considering her status as part of this invasion storyline, the fact that she lost the title, she lost the title to JC Jane, and then there was the triple threat that happened recently. You'd have thought she would have been part of that if everything was au fait, but as it stands, that is not the case. I think whilst TNA is undergoing an investigation, you would think therefore should be taken off.
It would make sense.
Wouldn't be, unless something is resolved by the time this video goes out. I would imagine that maybe we'll have some announcement regarding that match for Victory Road very soon. But that's kind of the measure of the entire situation. And I said the Dropbox, I say, if it's something that you feel like is going to upset you, I wouldn't recommend opening it. We've talked about a lot of very heavy things there. If you're experiencing something like this in your own life, you can reach out for England and Wales, the National Domestic Abuse Helpline, 0808 2000 24/7. You can go to nationaldahelpline.org.uk as well. For the USA, the National Domestic Violence Hotline, text 88788 or call 800-799-SAFE or visit thehotline.org. Or for Australia, 1-800-RESPECT, 1-800-RESPECT.org.au. Or if you're not in any of those areas, there's domestic abuse and domestic violence hotlines and charities that you can reach out to today. You shouldn't need to suffer in silence when it comes to something like that. Not the happiest of stories to share with you this morning.
Definitely not.
But certainly an important one. And when we know more about it, we'll let you know more at cultaholic.com.